I hear you. More where that came from. More where that came from. Say the word. More where that came from. 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 Say the word. Everyone down. I hear you.
Let's move out.
Just say the word. More where that came from. More where that came from.
Ready?
I hear you.
Ready?
Just say the word. I hear you.
Ready?
I hear you. More where that came from.
You interrupting me for a reason? I have another...
Time to even the odds. More where that came from. More where that came from. came from? More where that came from. More where that came from.
Good to go.
I hear you. More where that came from. 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 Everyone down. More where that came from. 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 Geraktada cemense bingaru rukutodo und jujuamataso benkisha. Der interunto wakare kwe wap gerebu. Nenso telepachan go. Terewana jun konata della raguno tuna. Dai interunto kawre. Dosane gravalantro kwe wapa teratana chingaradana. Terewana jun konata della raguno tuna.
Taranamo sibu endasarans, krema sunkun ratungala, chawi mo jubu inkosoracha. Moka kamaran endoso ranwi no chabi. Du rantamana sobu. Taranamo sibu endasarans, krema sunkun ratungala. Moka kamaran endoso ranwi no chabi. Du rantamana sobu.
I was expecting someone taller. I hope you are not in too much pain to hear my words and understand them. I am Koto, one of the officials representing a percentage of non-sanctioned trading here in both the YouTube system and Republic space. And I had a question for you. Are you a Jedi? Indeed. That is unfortunate. Still, perhaps you have some value. I have gone to considerable expense and effort to bring you here. It is because I have a job for you. Afraid? No. It is simply difficult to be in so many places at once. Holo technology is currently the most effective and convenient way to communicate my commands over vast distances. At least until Aerotech develops the new holo transceiver within 2 standard months, but by then it will simply be too late. There is something important to me I need protected. The Republic. It is broken. What happened on Paragus has set in motion events that I can no longer control. Not to be melodramatic, but I fear it has broken the galaxy irrevocably. This has occupied much of my attention, and there seems to be no predictable way to resolve the situation. In 1 standard month, the Republic will collapse. Not due to war or secession, but because it lacks the infrastructure to support itself. It is unknown to all but a few, but the Sith won the Jedi Civil War. Even with their supposed victory, the war left the Republic on the brink of collapse. Rather than remain and help solidify the Republic, however, Revan chose to leave known space. A frustrating turn of events, as a rallying figurehead could have done much to restore order. There is something moving in the galaxy that lies beyond the ability of my instruments to detect or predict. I believe it to be a legacy of the Sith, but I have been unable to determine the source. Whatever this presence is, it is staging strikes at key figures throughout the Republic, and through some unknown means, it is causing the destruction of worlds. KotOR, a Miraluka world in the Mid-Rim, was one such place. I have reason to suspect there was a gathering of Jedi on that world when it was rendered lifeless. I cannot find any pattern in these attacks, and it is a source of frustration to me. There is some clue, however, that perhaps the Jedi are linked to these attacks, or that the targets are significant in some way I have yet to discover. You misunderstand me. I do not wish to stop the Sith any more than I wish to stop the Jedi. It is simply important to me that the infighting amongst these Jedi religious branches be resolved so the galaxy may be put back together. I do not care which one triumphs. I only want the universe to settle down for a while, catch its breath. All these constant crises are getting somewhat repetitive. You could say I am something of a patriot. Although I was unable to serve during the troubles with the Mandalorians or against the aggressors known as Malak and Revan, I am able and willing to serve now. The problem is I can find no side to choose. Both are hidden from me as they seem to be hiding from each other. Irritating. It is like a Dejaric board where neither player can see the other, nor see all the pieces. It is not a fair game, an equitable game. Azak bores me. I often suspect my opponent of cheating. I prefer predictable games, such as galactic economics. Then perhaps you care for yourself. The fact the Sith seek you is something that must occupy your thoughts as much as the Republic occupies mine. There is no margin for error when I say that these Sith seek to murder you and all Jedi everywhere. They have been quite efficient. And when they dispose of you, there will be nothing left to stop them, and the galaxy will fall under their influence. Well, there is where we are at cross purposes. I cannot set you free. You have a tendency to cause dangerous repercussions wherever you go, and I would rather keep those to a minimum. The galaxy really is a fragile place right now. I am a businessman. The Republic needs stability to survive, prosper, and grow. Whether it is led by the Sith or supported by the Jedi is of no consequence to me. It is the proximity alarm. We are under attack. Somehow your allies have found you. Unexpected. You will remain here under guard. I must see to the defense of my ship.
Acknowledgement. Optimal efficiency ratio achieved. Prejudice. Acknowledgement. Optimal accuracy ratio achieved. Optimal accuracy ratio achieved. Ratio achieved. Query: is there someone that you need killed, Master?
I'll have this open in no time.
Let me test this security measure.
Yeah?
Accuracy ratio achieved. Switching to combat mode. Acknowledgement. Aside.
Yeah?
Yes, Master. Accuracy ratio achieved. Acknowledgement.
Yes, General?
Statement. HK-47 is ready to serve, Master. Statement.
This won't take long.
They have gotten farther than I calculated. They are very resourceful. But they shall go no farther. Activate the mines. Let us see how far they get now.
Let's go.
Acknowledgement.
Take them down.
Acknowledgement.
Let's go.
Yes, Master.
Take them down.
chances of survival are rapidly approaching that number. Your ship and your lives are mine. The only question is how much resources you want me to expend in subduing you.
Yeah?
Yes, Master.
Let's go.
Ready to serve. Yes, Master.
Let's go.
Acknowledgement.
What's going on? I'll have this open in no time. This is too tough for me. This is too tough for me. Yeah?
More visitors. I don't know how many more of these pests I can disintegrate. Ah, what remains of the bounty hunters have found me. Now it is time to cue the detonation sequence.
Donos imaragith, wanara gorachi drumka sa inchobin sasha. Taranamo sibu endasarans, krema sunkun ratungala.
Ratio achieved. Ratio achieved. Accuracy ratio achieved.
Let's go.
Accuracy ratio achieved. Ready to serve.
I can't believe we just blew up KotOR's yacht. That's gonna destabilize crime throughout this whole sector.
Yeah, well, you'll understand if I hold back the tears.
You don't understand. Crime in the YouTube system, it's like the economy. Plus the power vacuum. Even if Voga gets up and running again, the system is gonna be feeling the effects for years to come.
Yeah, well, at least we didn't find that Jedi Master with the weird name. Zez, Kai, whatever it is.
Zez Kyle? Well, that's not true. I already found him. Actually, he found me first. He hired me to watch out for you, keep KotOR off your back until he could meet with you. We'll need to head back to Nar Shaddaa, to that safe house off the docks. I said I'd meet up with him there if we ran into any trouble. What do you want now?
If you thought to escape my notice so easily, you would be wrong. As a token of my goodwill, I present to you a gift, this droid. It will serve you well on your journey. I'm afraid I do not understand what you mean. As I indicated, this unit will remain with you and guard you. It will also serve as an effective voice for my orders during your journey. I cannot harm you. You are the key to saving the Republic. Pray that you do not prove yourself otherwise.
So, you have returned from exile. KotOR thought you might, if only to wander your old battlegrounds. But I did not think you would come to Nar Shaddaa. Still, you were always a difficult one to read, both when you were tied to the Force, and even more when it was lost to you. I do not know. It was a sense he had, and he had served in war as you had. Perhaps he thought he understood you, or maybe he simply hoped he did. He felt you were the key to understanding the threat we face. The others were not so certain, but so many of them are gone now, as you no doubt know. He sensed some connection between you and many of the worlds touched by war. He thought by traveling to such places, he could achieve understanding. No doubt. I think the answers will provide us both with some measure of peace. I have kept secrets for far too long. They have scattered, but there is purpose in their movements. It is both to hunt and draw out our enemies. Somehow, we, are being targeted through the Force, and when Jedi gather, we are vulnerable. So we have chosen places where it is difficult to sense others through the Force, whether on planets dense with life, or touched by war. In such places, we may conceal ourselves, gather information without presenting ourselves as targets. It was part of KotOR's plan. Yes, he felt if our enemy cannot detect us, then perhaps they would believe themselves victorious and show themselves. And we knew that the war would be lost if we continued to act as we had. I do not know where they wander now. There are few of us, though. Too few, and I have not heard from them in some time. Vrook still lives. I had not felt his presence for some time. What I can tell you, I will. Yes, such bonds are a connection that can be formed at moments of crisis, or in the slow understanding that grows between master and apprentice. It is most common between two beings who are sensitive to the Force. It allows the transmission of feelings, of influence. It was something you were gifted with, as I recall, before your fall. You formed such attachments easier than most, even to those who could feel the Force only faintly. Even Vrook could not ignore it, which is saying something. I do not know. A bond between two living beings is not something easily broken. It is not a choice. It is like breaking a feeling, like turning away from the Force. To break a bond, your feelings would have to change, or one of you would have to die. But even then, the bond wouldn't go away. It would simply be empty, a wound. Very well. Ah, so the records of your trial were found. Good. Sometimes I think this galaxy would be a better place if there were less Jedi secrets. But I have no answer for you, as much as I would like to give one. We vowed never to speak of it, and although I would not keep promises to Jedi, I keep promises I make to others. And KotOR was a friend. If we were gathered as one, then the promise might be revoked. Until then, I can say nothing. Very well. They have scattered, but there is purpose in their movements. It is both to hunt and draw out our enemies. Somehow, we, are being targeted through the Force, and when Jedi gather, we are vulnerable. So we have chosen places where it is difficult to sense others through the Force, whether on planets dense with life or touched by war. In such places, we may conceal ourselves, gather information without presenting ourselves as targets. It was part of KotOR's plan. Yes, he felt if our enemy cannot detect us, then perhaps they would believe themselves victorious and show themselves. And we knew that the war would be lost if we continued to act as we had. I do not know where they wander now. There are few of us, though. Too few, and I have not heard from them in some time. Atris, but I had thought she had gone to KotOR with the others. Yes, she holds the last of the Jedi teachings. It is good she survived. I had not finished my investigations here, and I did not wish to reveal myself. There was nothing I could do. Very well. It is a long story, but there is no harm in you knowing. And someone should know. Only a handful of us remained after the Jedi Civil War, barely 100 in number. Then, even that 100 began to vanish, in places where the Force seemed blind. The only pattern we determined is that when Jedi gathered, they were seen no more. At the last Jedi conclave on the Miraluka world of KotOR, the entire planet was wiped out, an entire race destroyed, because the Jedi chose to gather there. It was only then that we realized we were facing something far more powerful than we knew how to fight. We could not allow the fact that when we gathered, we placed everything around us at risk. A Jedi's life is sacrifice, but we cannot allow our presence or actions to endanger others. And we could not fight an enemy that will not reveal itself. But any Jedi, anyone who was strong in the Force, who attempted to track down such a threat, vanished without a trace. It does, but you must step back to see it. Whatever this threat was, it was targeting us and everything around us. Yet it was somehow weak enough that it was afraid to confront us openly. If it believed us defeated, then perhaps it would finally show itself. It was a faint hope, but it was the best we had. It was KotOR's plan. He was always the greatest tactician among us, and had seen war more than the rest of us. Very well. We told you it was because you followed Revan to war, but you ask because you are not certain of that answer. Nor were we. The day we cast you out, that is the moment I decided to leave the Order, because I do not believe we truly faced the reasons you were exiled, and if we do not examine such truths, then we are already lost. I think it was because we were afraid. It is a difficult thing to live one's life with the Force. To see a vision of what it would be like to be severed from it, it is more frightening than you know. Very well. It is a long story, but there is no harm in you knowing. And someone should know. Only a handful of us remained after the Jedi Civil War, barely 100 in number. Then, even that 100 began to vanish, in places where the Force seemed blind. The only pattern we determined is that when Jedi gathered, they were seen no more. At the last Jedi conclave on the Miraluka world of KotOR, the entire planet was wiped out, an entire race destroyed, because the Jedi chose to gather there. It was only then that we realized we were facing something far more powerful than we knew how to fight. Now I must take up the role I was ready to cast aside. This threat has finally revealed itself, and we Jedi will need to stand together. I did not speak fully of what I have felt. Staying on Nar Shaddaa, it is an exile of sorts, one that I have chosen. I, too, lost a Padawan on Malachor, not to the battle, but to the alternative, to the teachings that Revan brought from the unknown regions. And I was not the only Jedi Master to watch a student turn on them. No, they were not to blame, but many of the Order did so. It was a difficult time, a time of strong emotion. Perhaps the Council, perhaps the Order itself, had grown arrogant in their teachings. It is easy to cast blame, but it is perhaps time the Order accepted responsibility for their teachings and their arrogance and come to recognize that perhaps we are flawed. Not once did I hear one of the Council claim responsibility for Revan, for Exar Kun, for Ulic, for Malak, or for you. Yet, you were the only one who came back from the wars to face our judgment. And rather than attempting to understand why you did what you did, we punished you instead. Our one chance to see where we had gone wrong, and we cast it aside. And now, that decision has come back to us and may carry with it our destruction. Perhaps there is something wrong in us and our teachings, and though I tried, I could not cause that thought to leave me, so I left the Council. And I was not the only one. That is why many scattered, and why many in the Republic do not trust us, and why we do not trust ourselves. Make no mistake, I am no Jedi. This is the end, you see. After this, there will be nothing, and I think it will be for the best. Do you wish to do battle now? I have nothing more to say. It provides no comfort at all, for reasons in which I still must keep secret. Suffice to say, redemption was not Revan's choice, and I have never believed those of the Council who attempt to console themselves otherwise for the crime they committed. But we have spoken enough, I think, and words, I think, dull us both. Let us speak through the Force, through sparring. It has been some time since you have used the Force, it is true, but there are techniques to enhance one's tie to the Force, to make your influence through the Force more potent. Yet, even as such techniques can enhance the Force, they should be used cautiously. They can drain you quickly, leaving you at the mercy of your opponents. Perhaps exile has been good to you indeed. It has certainly not dulled your instincts, nor the speed at which you learn. I shall go to Dantooine, to the ruins of the Enclave. If you gather the others, I will meet you there. And thank you, Exile. You're returning. It is good that you are back among us.
Diagnostic? For some reason, I cannot fire. Obvious statement. This was not anticipated. I am attempting to access my weapon systems, and I cannot. Alarmed embarrassment. If this gets back to the other units, we will be decommissioned.
You interrupting me for a reason? What? Do I look like a passenger ship to you? Ah, all right. You help me, I help you. Fine, I'll do for you. But don't ask of Fassa again. What else? Now that freighters can depart safely, I can use a good pilot. Fassa can do this. Good. I'll send someone for him.
Kavadumpe masuraku? Herinocha, minaradocha, kawanadumpa kankarebe.
Jikarist batkoki, ulga kili botmaleanois. Dobrakinun chubagrat wikili Johnny, wichibolano, watagritog jimulira, nicho dankan. Jichiskabula, tapichayubong, yunbula, chopitiman punjame, sashange bedwana mulera, chupawanga una konticha, bobrakinun chubagrat wikili Johnny.
Diagnostic? For some reason. Failing, Master.
Did you hear? The Republic's destroyed Goto's yacht. Blew it up right in orbit. Goto's yacht was fired on by a Republic warship. Has the Republic declared war on the exchange? Did you hear? The Republic's destroyed Goto's yacht. Blew it up right in orbit. Goto's yacht was fired on by a Republic warship.
That was so kind of you to help out.
Thank you so much for curing me.
You saved us all from that horrible plague.
I used to serve in the Mandalorian.
Oh, hello again. What can I do for you? You've already helped us greatly.
Did you hear? The Republic's destroyed KotorHDTV.
Command, you will talk. Defiant statement. There is nothing you can do to me. Do your worst. Agonized exclamation. My photoreceptors! My photoreceptors! Statement. I shall up the charge of your circuits next time. Now, answer the question. Posturing statement. I will never talk. Statement. Then I will have to settle for your screams.
That is one sick groin.
Statement. My prisoner has revealed something of interest. Allow me to share it with you. Statement. The facility that is creating these cruder, unsophisticated versions of me is located on Telos. I propose we go there and turn it into a smoldering crater.
Ah, HK-47. I did not realize that you still existed, especially now that the other generations are activated.
Query. What is it you wish, Fat One?
I see that your recent reassembly has not affected your behavior core, nor your attitude.
Statement. If I require a similar diagnostic in the future, I shall seek out the Iridonian.
Oh, I do not think so. There is much work that needs to be done first.
Query. Have we had the misfortune to meet before? I believe I would have remembered one as large as you.
Oh, yes, we have met. And I have not finished with you yet.
Of course. It would be my pleasure.
Meditation envy?
Why don't you go sit on a rocket?
Calm down. What is your problem?
I don't want to talk about it.
Alright, you know, Atten, sometimes it's no wonder you can't figure yourself out the way you lie to yourself all the time. I've hunted a lot of people in my line of work, but I never met someone who wants to get lost more than you do. I've got a pretty good idea why, but not the whole picture. I will, though. My advice? Come clean before I find out.
That guy, I don't trust him.
I do. I mean, he's alright, I guess. He's like someone who watches too many holovids. Or teaches them.
Yeah, you're right. He's boring.
Yeah, and that puts him a few ranks up the ladder from you.
What's that supposed to mean? I'm not boring.
No, you're more like a shifty, lying idiot with a tendency to complain about every little thing and offer only small bits of helpful advice if pressured. He'd get beaten to death on Nar Shaddaa almost as soon as he landed, though.
Oh, that's good to hear. Thought I had some competition there.
Oh, well, it's not really a competition. I mean, you're kind of an idiot, Atten, and you don't shower enough, and you scratch your equipment when you think no one's looking. Don't take it too hard, though. That still makes you better than most people I've met on Nar Shaddaa.
Thanks.
And stop watching her. She's got enough problems.
more worlds we travel to, the more questions I have. It's not just the hardships of the people, but something more. You are right, but there is something more at work here. The attacks on KotOR, Telos itself, the decay on Dantooine. Something is wrong, but I cannot pinpoint what. It's like their connections have become sickened, damaged. Sometimes I feel like I almost understand, and then it just slips away.